Greetings on the channel. Find out more now. We will talk about why Sturgeon poised to step up independence push as SNP unveils plan for Indy Ref 2 legislation. Thank you in advance for your likes and subscriptions, and here we go. Nicola Sturgeon's SNP is pressing ahead with its push for a second referendum after the party announced plans to introduce a bill to allow Scotland to decide on independence. However, pro-independence campaigners have called on the ruling Scottish Government coalition to shelve plans to spend £20 million on a so-called Indy Ref 2 and instead redirect the cash towards public services. The new proposals will be announced today, and seek to take over the House of Commons order paper on January 10 next year in order to present the SNP's New Scotland Act 1998 Amendment Bill. Be sure to write your comments below the video, it's very important to us. In turn, the legislation will seek to amend Schedule 5 of the Scotland Act 1998, which details what Holyrood can and cannot legislate on, which includes the Union of the Kingdoms of Scotland and England and the Parliament of the United Kingdom. The new plans come just 1 month after the Supreme Court ruled the Scottish Parliament cannot hold a second independence referendum without Westminster approval. Commenting, recently installed SNP Westminster leader Stephen Flynn MP said, "We will use our opposition day to put forward the Scotland Act 1998 Amendment Bill and seek to take control of Parliament's order paper to unlock Westminster's denial of democracy. The mechanism, which will seek to amend the Scotland Act 1998, will allow the Scottish Parliament to legislate for a referendum and reject any attempts by Westminster to impose a roadblock on Scotland's democratic journey to independence. The people of Scotland have already voted for a referendum and now is the time for one. That is a democratic reality that politicians at Westminster must wake up to." Mr. Flynn's comments come as a new poll suggests Scottish voters back independence over remaining in the UK but signals warnings for the de facto referendum method. The YouGov poll, reported by The Times, of 1,090 voters found 47% would favour independence, while 42% back staying in the Union. Support for independence has increased by 4 since a previous survey in October, while the no vote fell by 3 points. Mr. Flynn added, 4 polls in a row now show majority support for independence, but with both the Tories and Labour joined at the hip in blocking democracy, it cannot be business as usual at Westminster. Scottish Government ministers were this week accused of vanity independence spending, rather than prioritising the cost of living crisis in the upcoming budget statement. Deputy First Minister John Swinney, who has stepped in as Finance Secretary while Kate Forbes is on maternity leave, will set out the 2023-24 budget tomorrow. The Scottish Tories, including the party's finance and economy spokeswoman Liz Smith, have urged the government to support households and key public services amid rising costs. Ms. Smith said the SNP is focused on its independence obsession and sitting on money that could help hard-pressed families and businesses now, adding, it should immediately divert its vanity spending on a referendum that the courts have ruled out and abandon reckless plans for a costly, centralized national care service that everyone else can see as a bad idea. Speaking in advance of the budget, Pamela Nash, Chief Executive of Scotland and Union, said, "There is only one sensible and decent choice for the SNP Green government to make, and that's to immediately redirect this £20 million fund. It would be inexcusable for John Swinney to stand before Holyrood on Thursday and do anything else. Even during good times it would be wrong for the nationalists to use taxpayers' money in this way. But given the immense challenges facing people, businesses and public services, it would be a particularly poor decision." Ms. Nash added, "We've outlined a few ways in which this money could be used, and there are many more deserving causes across every area of Scottish Government responsibility. John Swinney must ensure that he supports those who need this money the most, and not further fan the flames of division and uncertainty." The UK government has been contacted for comment. Subscribe to the channel, write comments, and we will keep you informed of all the latest developments.